Yeah, we got to get into this game. We have got to get into this game.
You may not have noticed because Elton's closest to the camera and he lacks the apparel.
Yeah.
We did a little football theme there. You know why we did football theme?
Put it on.
I put it on.
He's putting it on.
While you talk, I'll put it on.
I don't have a whistle.
Can you see it?
Referee, throw a flag.
Wish I had a whistle.
Throw a flag.
Yeah. So we've got everyone rocking some. Ooh, that's
your lady would love this.
Zeke Elliott jersey.
Yeah.
Ezekiel.
How do I put these on?
It goes over your head, and then your arms go through the armhole, just like anything else you wear.
This is going so well.
Okay, go for
Let's start over.
Do I throw my hood up?
Which part?
You know, all of it.
Rep your city. Throw your hood up.
No, I'm just trying to get it to where. No, go for it. Go for it.
All
No,
right.
Yeah. All right. So
What you need to do for Zeke, though, is roll it up right under here.
yeah, give
Make
us
sure
some
your
midriff.
stomach is
Happy
showing.
those cookies,
Give
my
us some
guy.
midriff.
I'm good. We're ready. Supporting the boys. Bump the Seahawks.
Our head referee for the Super Bowl this weekend is going to be Ryan Monahan.
I like that.
Not to be confused, Ed Hockley, with my body shape and my muscles, but sometimes I am confused.
Could be confused.
Yeah,
I get it.
looking
People
in the
do
mirror.
think that I am Ed Hockley. I'm actually not.
He's a close second, and not gonna lie.
He tries, but
And then we've got
Keep
across
working,
from me,
buddy.
we've got Ezekiel Elliott.
Let's go. Let's go.
I am repping the future Hall of Famer and Liberty High School coach. Congratulations, by the way.
Mr. Tennessee.
Shout outs to Mr. Tennessee, Jason Witten. And then to my left, we've got the one and only
Is that Marshawn?
This is Russell Wilson.
Russell Wilson, number 3.
Super Bowl 48. by
I like the
way.
Super Bowl emblem. Pretty sweet.
Yes.
This is a Super
Pretty
Bowl
sweet.
jersey.
That's when they
that the
decided
one that they
to
lost?
hand it off to Marshawn Lynch instead of throwing it.
This is the one we just blew out the
Denver
Broncos. They
Broncos.
didn't
Started
have
with
to
a
Oh,
have
safety.
I always forget. I always
Yeah.
figure it's that one they lost in the end
To
zone.
the Patriots.
I'm
and
sorry. I'm sorry.
Worst loss in Super Bowl history.
Easily.
It is,
by
but
far.
also a pretty big win for Mr. Tampa Bay himself.
He did a lot to win that game, and that's what we'll all remember.
Do you think, and I mean, like I know we talked about it a little bit ago, but do you think if he wins this, there's anyone that'll ever touch him? Is this one of those records that is just so impossible?
I'm going to say yes because the only person I think has a chance to catch him is Patrick Mahomes, and he has to do it by starting off with back-to-back Super Bowls. That'll give him 2. It'll leave Brady at 6. Brady does not get back to Super Bowl. This is his last one. Therefore, if he wins, he goes to 7. If not, Mahomes moves to 2 and is within 4.
Why do you think he can't get back? Who in the NFC comes up and scares you next year?
I think the Cowboys are seriously going to be a team that ruins people's records.
Are we doing this?
I'm not saying they're going to the Super Bowl.
We're going. I'm saying it.
The Cowboys are going to have one of the most explosive offenses next year.
Oh, we had the most explosive offense this year.
And then we
until I
lost
got
our
hurt,
starting
and we
quarterback,
lost.
our entire offensive
And what was our
line.
record through the first 4 games?
2-2.
No, it was
No,
1
it
and
was 1
3,
and 3.
and it should have been 0 and 4.
2-2.
He's
not
right.
bad.
We won on the ridiculous Hawks.
Anyway.
Or Falcons.
Anyway.
Oh, God. I'm sorry. I'm watching the
But
Hawks
you've got
over here.
Seattle Seahawks. You've got the Arizona Cardinals. You've got the Saints that are going to always be a solid team with their roster, no matter who's at quarterback. Brady will compete.
I still think
The Cowboys will compete. Green Bay will compete.
Yeah, but the Bucs bring back just about everyone from the defense. They've got Winfield back, who has not played in the playoff or last week. He has played up to then.
Mm-hmm.
So they bring him back for
Linebackers
another
are
year.
Solid.
Devin Bush, Levante David are Pro Bowlers. They may not get the acknowledgement, but they're definitely Pro Bowlers. They
Devin
bring back
White.
Devin White. You have JPP. Is JPP?
Jean Papel.
I mean, they just have Shaq Barrett. They just have a really good defense.
And no offense.
And they're all coming
with
back.
some of the best wide receivers in the
Some of
league.
the best wide receivers, although Godwin's a free agent. So they might lose Godwin. But they've got
He's
Brown.
making less than $1 million this
They
year.
don't have a good tight end. I mean, Gronkowski had, 2
Cameron
catches in the
Brate's
last
not a
game?
bad tight end.
He's
not
been
utilized.
way under impressive.
Okay. I don't want to get into a tight end debate. Outside of Travis Kelce, like there's
Tyreek
really
Hill?
not that many good. Talking about tight ends.
Oh.
Because you're saying they don't have a good one. There's hardly any good ones right now.
How old's Travis Kelce, Ryan?
He's got to be 31, 32.
He's 31. How old's Ron Gronkowski?
30.
31. Pretty crazy there.
Well, Gronk already won several Super Bowls. Gronk's
And
been
he's-
concussed about 1,000,000
He's
times.
beat that body up.
That's what happens when you win all the time.
Travis Kelce
Take it to the playoffs.
looks like he's entering his prime. This is going to be a fun one. You know, I don't know how big of a difference the tackles are going to make because I think Patrick Mahomes is that good.
Offensive line?
Yeah, but I think it's going to show.
I mean, Eric Fisher is a
Phenomenal
great
Hall
left tackle.
of Fame tackle potentially, but for sure a Pro Bowler. It's going to be tough. He's going to get sacked, but their offense is just so explosive, and they can wear down the Bucs defense. I could see the Bucs defense being pretty irrelevant in the second half. I see them coming out and playing them really hard in the first half.
I wouldn't say irrelevant.
That's a tough word.
I mean it. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Le'Veon Bell, Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill, Sammy Watkins, Demarcus Robinson.
They can throw them in waves, and then they go.
And then he can run on you. Patrick Mahomes, he can run on you. The over-under for him is 19 and a half yards rushing.
He had that toe problem.
I know. That's the only reason to me the line is what it is because, I mean, if Patrick Mahomes can't stay in the game, then everything drastically changes.
Do you think he wouldn't? I mean, aside from the concussion thing, which
and was he concussed or was he choked out?
Looked like he got choked out. Aside from that, like there's no reason for me to believe that he won't play. But he looked pretty hobbled running last week or 2 weeks ago.
I hate it that we're putting Patrick Mahomes on such a high pedestal.
He's earned it.
He's earned it.
Has he?
Yes. He's
been
in
in the
back-to-back
league for-
Super Bowls. He's in the
Okay.
league for his third year.
It's not just him. He has a good team. He has a good, solid
Sorry,
team.
his fourth year.
With a great
Yeah.
head coach.
Third starting.
With a great head coach.
First year starting, he should have been in the Super Bowl. He lost to Tom Brady in the AFC Championship game.
was his
Second year, he
starting.
If he was on the Dolphins,
first
you would have an
year
argument.
starting. First year in the league as a rookie, he played behind Alex Smith. Second year,
started
Alex
a couple
Smith
games in
left.
that
Yeah,
game,
he
though.
did at the very end. But his first year starting, he went to the AFC Championship game, lost to Brady. The next year, he wins the Super Bowl. This year, he's back facing Tom Brady.
So is
in
that
the
4
Super Bowl.
years he's been in the NFL?
4 years he's been in the NFL.
They've
3 as a starter.
kept the cord together the entire time, though.
And Andy Reid's a phenomenal coach.
I don't know.
Are we talking just straight up right now, or are we talking spread? Because right now we're going into a game, just to recap it, the line opened at 3.5. That's what Mahomes and the Chiefs are favored going into Tampa Bay, playing in the host city, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It was at 3.5. The line has since moved, and it's stuck at 3, but there's been a lot of heavy money. $2 million bet, $350,000 bet on the Bucs and on Brady covering 3.5. So the line's moved to 3. And then you've got the over-under. The over-under in this one is right at 50.
53 or
56 was the opening. I think it's now at 56.5. So
A lot
just
of points.
let's just look at who wins, who loses in the spread. Does anybody here think the Chiefs just lose the game?
Elton has his hand raised. So
Yeah.
You think do you think the Bucs win the game?
I think the Bucs win it.
Well, then you love Bucs getting 3 points.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
I love that.
Tristan.
I don't think the Chiefs just lose the game. No.
I think Ryan and I are on the same page. We see Chiefs win it. So now let's get to the spread. We'll start with you, Elton. Obviously, you're getting 3 points.
Yeah.
What's your confidence meter on 3 points?
I'm pretty confident because it's. I like to.
So here's some context. They played each other a few weeks ago.
Okay.
27-24, Chiefs won.
Okay.
Won by 3. So
Misleading.
you're
Yeah.
at least getting the 3. Well, it's not misleading.
It is. Tell them the first quarter stats.
It doesn't matter.
It does matter. Patrick Mahomes threw for 217 yards to one player and 2 touchdowns, Tyreek Hill.
What happened the rest of the game?
That was the first quarter.
It's a full game.
They don't have to. Okay, this is
it's
what
a
I.
full game.
Okay, respectfully, if you've won the game in the first quarter, are you going to try as hard as possible to win every quarter and put up 70 points?
How did they know they won the first game in the first quarter?
Because they were leading after the first half. I mean,
Okay, so
they had it in the bag.
all the
Teams
time.
Teams just quit when they're up that big in the first quarter.
No, my point is the Chiefs stepped off the gas because it was regular season. We saw it the whole year. They had a hard time covering, especially the big lines. They're actually not bad at
So
covering
that's
less
what they're
than a
thinking
touchdown.
when they step off the gas. Just spreads and lines and
No, what I think they're thinking is we don't need to overdo it. We need to do just enough to win, and they had no problem doing that all year except for against the Raiders. Now they're going to go in the Super Bowl. You're going to see a different Chiefs team. You're going to see a team that's capable of putting up 200 yards with one player in one quarter against this Bucs team.
But again, the point was around covering. The Bucs found a way to cover. So when you're talking about who could
Actually,
win
they
or
didn't.
who can cover,
That was a push. No, that game opened at 3 and it pushed.
okay. So if it opened at 3.5, like this one did,
That's different.
Well, if we're going at 3,
but you're asking, is it about the spread or is it about winning?
Okay, well, if it's about the spread and we're talking about
What are
that
you
game,
asking?
they
Talking about the
pushed.
What are you asking, Josh?
Well,
My,
this
my
game.
point is still,
are we
I don't
about-
think you can take regular season numbers with how they covered and extrapolate that
What
to
was
can
your
they cover the
original
Super Bowl.
question?
I asked
How comfortable
Elton
if I
was
feel
his
about
how
the 3?
confidence meter was. What was his confidence meter with 3 points?
I like it. They'll push, or
I mean, you think they're going to win, so you love
Yeah,
getting anything.
Yeah. Tampa.
Guys, this line really should be at 4, maybe even 5, but I think it's because of the tackles. It stayed where it's at. It could even be as much as 6 if Mahomes was completely healthy. There's a lot of Tom Brady fans that are betting these big numbers, and I get it. Tom Brady is Tom Brady. You take Tom Brady out of this
He wins.
matchup and
It's
you
hard
put
to bet
anybody
against
else
Tom
in,
Brady.
this spread could have been 14 points, and really, Bucs never even make it here.
That's true.
I love 3 points. You're going to give Mahomes the game with 3 points. Give it to me because I feel very confident if they lose, it's an anomaly. And if they win, they will win by 3 or more. So I will risk the push because there's nothing to lose there. I just don't win. I don't lose. But I could see them winning by 14 points in this game.
So Brady's first 3 Super Bowl titles were all won by 3 points.
Yeah.
Since then, his Super Bowl wins have gone 4, 6, and 10.
so he never blows people out.
He never blows people out, and he
Sometimes plays from behind.
a couple of those he's played from behind. Actually, all but 2, I believe, did he actually basically own the game in terms of holding the lead for the majority of that time. So I just can't, as good as the Chiefs are, as much time as they have with holding the ball, using all of their weapons, everything they have, I just can't honestly think this game is going to be dominated by KC. And if it is, okay, great. We all see the second coming of the GOAT, right? The overused term of the greatest of all time. Here it comes. It's Patrick Mahomes. I don't see this game going that way. I feel the Bucs have a lot on offense. I feel their defense is very good. Opportunistic, good linebackers, everything we've named before. I just don't think this game is going to be a blowout and anywhere near 14 points. So
Do you give a nod to Reed versus Arians?
No, I don't give a nod anywhere. I give that to Andy Reid all day long.
Okay.
Do you know who's replacing Eric Fisher?
Yeah.
They called him the turnstile because he gave up a shit ton of sacks to Von Miller.
Against Von Miller when he played for the Panthers in the Super Bowl against the Broncos for Super Bowl 50. He allowed like
Is
6
it Andrew Wiley?
sacks.
Or is it Mike
Mike
Remmers?
Remmers.
Mike Remmers. Okay.
Remmers. That's the name.
So it's definitely a problem. Now, lots changed. Offensive styles changed. But Cam Newton was the quarterback. And if anyone could be mobile and get around, he was the guy to do that. I don't think you can totally disregard the loss of Fisher and Mitchell Schwartz. It's a big deal. However, I think if you're going to have a guy to game plan around it, Andy Reid is one of the guys that could do it. So, oh man, between Kelsey and Mecole Hardman, then you got obviously Tyreek Hill all over the place. You've got some great check down options. If he does get in trouble, I think he is a savant at quarterback. He knows when to get rid of the ball. He knows who to find it. It's very difficult for me to bet against the Chiefs in a straight up.
By the way,
Spread is a factor.
they
but
are
straight
5-1 this season covering the spread when it's less than a touchdown. I know everybody thinks they're bad at covering the spread,
Well,
but
they're
again,
bad at covering the spread.
well, when the spread's 19.5, sometimes it's difficult.
When was the last time it was less than a touchdown? Besides
week.
this game?
Last week.
Last
week?
Yeah,
Okay.
and they covered.
Easily.
But they didn't against the Browns.
That's a good game.
So
But they
and they
didn't
maybe
against the
should have
Browns.
lost against the Browns. But, man, I'm like less worried about the game from a betting perspective. I think the game goes to Kansas City by, I agree with Josh. I think it's definitely more than 3. If you feel confident that Kansas City is going to win the game, I definitely think you feel confident it's going to be by more than 3.
Right.
But 56 points in the NFL is a lot of freaking points.
Yeah. Well, we haven't even really gotten to that. That's a whole nother bag of worms.
Well, let's get into the bag of worms.
I like the bag of worms.
Big bag of worms. Let's talk about some worms.
Well, I think the biggest bag of worms is
how many worm bags do we talking about?
The last 7 Super Bowls where the total was over 50.
Has it ever hit?
Going back to 2001, the unders hit. It's hard. These teams don't go into this game ready to sling it. They go in playing conservative, playing smart, playing their playbook. 56.5 is a lot of points. I think, though, this is a game where the over could easily happen if you get the back and forth. But watching Brady, again, the way Brady stays in this game and keeps his team and gives them a chance to win is that the defense gives him phenomenal field advantage. You know, he starts in Kansas City's territory 2 or 3 times. And then on the flip side, Tampa Bay makes it to where Mahomes has to march 90 yards every time to put up points. That's how I see Tampa winning or competing. If their defense doesn't get the ball, turnovers, and force punts deep in the Kansas City zone, I have a hard time seeing Brady sling and keeping it up with what Patrick Mahomes can do. For that reason, I like the under in this game, but this really comes down to field position. I know that's a really stupid, obvious football term, but if their defense can make this competitive on the field position competition or the battle, then I see the over. Otherwise, I feel pretty good about the under.
So I've got this number in my head, and after just a small amount of research, this is what I come up with. It is 27. Teams that scored 27 or more points in a Super Bowl are 29-4. I think.
So basically, can they get to 27?
Can they get what?
And which
team,
one?
What team gets to 27 first, right? And then which team can hold that lead? Which team? Like I said, what game will come down to a kick? Mr. Made, right? So I'm fully looking at that 27 number. Whatever team gets there, maybe not first, but whatever team is playing more, that 27 number is the number to build on and aim towards. I think that's where it is. I can't pick an over-under right now.
Do you think they could both get above 27?
I do think they can both get above, and that's why I said whatever team plays to 27 and then builds upon that. I think that's where the separation will come. Again, I just don't think this is going to be a blowout game either way. If anything, I would take the over because 56 is a very generous number given what both of these teams have offensively. This could easily turn into an offensive just, mashup. People going left, right, back, forth, up and down the field. Field position will play into that, but that could be based on a number of things, kick returns, interceptions, fumbles, sacks, whatever. So yeah, I'm looking at who looks like they're going to get to that 27 number the first, and then basically just keeps the foot on the gas. So that's me.
What do you think, Eldon?
I got the over. I think we sleep on Tampa Bay's offense, their weapons that they have. I think we're basing what the offense will do based off of the performance that we've seen from Antonio Brown and Gronkowski. I mean, Gronkowski has a lot to play for. He's playing for his quarterback. I think he's going to really show out. I think AB does as well. Tom Brady chose AB.
Took a huge chance at them.
Yeah, both at the Patriots and Tampa Bay. So I think they're both going to come out and try to perform for him. I got the over because if they're going to perform, they're going to have to put up points. So I got the over. I got the clean over. It's going to be over.
I think this is one of those where I stay away. I feel like so much is going to happen this game that we're not expecting. Watch Brady and Mahomes both get injured in the first quarter. Just something fucking weird's going to happen this game. And
the second quarterback.
Who is Tampa's backup? Is it McCown?
Ooh, I don't know.
Because we know it's Chad Henne.
Yeah, we know Kansas City back up to Mahomes is Chad Henne.
I think it's McCown.
Mike Glennon?
No, because he started for the Jags this year. It was Mike Glennon for a while.
You're right.
If we're playing backup quarterbacks, I got
Ryan
Kansas City.
Griffin and Blaine Gabbert. Blaine Gabbert's
Blaine
number
Gabbert.
one.
What a
Wow.
name.
Blaine Gabbert's number
Who would
one.
get into that history? Go look at some Blaine Gabbert history.
Is that Jaguars?
Blaine
original
Gabbert
draft
was
pick?
originally drafted
Yep.
by the Jaguars, and then he went to the Niners.
Made it to an AFC
did that?
championship.
And then
game.
he took over the Kaepernick spot, which was all the controversy around Kaepernick and Gabbert and
But he made it to an AFC championship game, right?
with the Jaguars.
Yeah.
Yeah. Early on when they had that great defense. No. That was Bortles.
It was
Oh,
Bortles.
sorry, my
Yeah.
bad. Wrong B.
No, he made it to the NFC Championship as a backup to Kaepernick, and then he overtook the starting spot. I think the following year.
Okay.
This is gonna be a good one. I'm gonna go ahead and take the over because that's what makes the games fun.
So who do you got MVP?
MVP's Mahomes. I mean, I think the Chiefs win. I think it's going to come down to how Mahomes plays. This is all about Patrick Mahomes. He already has an MVP title in the regular season. I believe he got the MVP title last year in the Super Bowl.
Should have been Williams
Yep.
last year.
Yeah.
Damian
Totally
Williams,
should have been
who
Williams.
I bet on as a huge favorite, or excuse me, as a huge underdog, who had 2 touchdowns, like 100 yards, and Mahomes got it for 120 yards passing. I'm kidding, but
Yeah, I think it's Mahomes. It's a safe bet.
oh man,
I don't think so.
here's where my personality is like.
Could be Kelsey if
worst.
Kelsey gets 200 yards.
My person or Tyreek Hill, who had 200 yards.
Yep.
My personality is the worst for gambling because I am an optimist. I always think, oh, Kansas City, I love them. I love watching their offense. They're going to score a ton. And then they don't.
They put up 15.
And then they, Kansas City will never put up only 15. But yeah, you're right. Like it goes lower. So I'm going to stray away from what I want it to be, and I'm going to go toward what I actually think it'll be. I do think Kansas City wins. So I definitely think they cover the 3. However, I don't think it'll get to 56 points. I think it's going to be like 34-21 or something like that, or 27-20, 31-21, just enough to get you into that under range. My eyes are saying that Brady has not been good in the playoffs. In spite of what I want my brain to think, which is that he's always good in the playoffs, my eyes are saying he just isn't.
How dare you?
I know. But the man's been to, what is this, 9 Super Bowls he's been to?
This will be his 10th.
This is 10.
This is 10.
This is 10.
That's unreal.
That's pretty phenomenal.
Like LeBron, like
It's unreal.
It's more
this
than
is
like
another team
25
to do it with.
franchises.
Tampa Bay hasn't been back to the Super Bowl since
2002.
2002. So,
And that's their only one.
but he looks more like Trent Dilfer in the 2002 Super Bowl than he does like Tom Brady from the Patriots Super
The
Bowl
difference is their defense is not Trent Dilfer on the 2002.
Defense is pretty good.
It's not the 2000. Do you know how many shutouts that team pitched?
What happened with their
Different
defense
league.
against Kansas City
Different-
earlier this year?
same league.
What am I missing? I mean, their defense has
I
looked
thought that game didn't
phenomenal in the
matter. That game
playoffs.
didn't matter.
No, I mean, they've looked phenomenal in
Throw
the
it out the window.
playoffs. And then before that, though, when they played the Chiefs, just like when they played the Saints and they
These are a
scored
hard
no
team
points.
to game plan for. Who do you double cover? Do you double cover Kelsey? Do
You can't double cover anybody.
Cheetah?
If you spy on
can't.
Mahomes, you're going single over the top. If you double cover, you're leaving Kelsey or Watkins wide open.
The mobility of Mahomes with the offensive line having 2 tackles that are out and being down to backups is a factor.
They're going to play deep safety a lot in this game. Keep Tyreek in front of them. Don't let Tyreek beat you.
Even with Tyreek beating him, they only put up 27 points.
Okay.
And it was a
took
blowout.
Their foot off the gas pedal.
Sure, but they still were only at 51 points.
Yeah.
So
If I bet it, I'm betting the under because that's a smart play, I
if you
think.
think
But I like
Brady,
the over.
If you think Brady has a chance,
Yeah, over
he's not
makes
going to
sense.
win in a shootout. He might have to, but he's not. That's not their game plan going in. Their game plan is control the clock.
Especially not at 43.
Leonard Fournette's played pretty well in the playoffs.
what's a shootout to you? Like, what is it?
34, 31,
34-27,
31,
34-30.
28.
Okay.
3 plus touchdowns.
Anything over
If the
56.
average of the two scores is 29 or more, that's a shootout.
to get to the over, it has to be a shootout.
Yeah.
56 points, even in the NFL, is a lot. It's not college. People don't score 56 points that often.
Give me 1 second. I'm going to give you the current line for the over-under. It is 56 still.
I'll take the under, but I'll take the
Baiting you.
Chiefs.
It's baiting.
And my MVP,
Yeah, it's your MVP.
Travis Kelce.
Yeah, I agree. Travis Kelce.
He's been unreal in the playoffs. Him and Hill, 100
I
yards
say,
each.
I don't know how you really could pick one over the other. They've both played phenomenal. But it took somebody to throw that ball, and Mahomes has looked even better.
So if their regular season game would have been the Super Bowl, who would have been the MVP?
Tyreek Hill.
Mahomes threw for 460 yards.
Yep. I mean, actually, it's Super Bowl. It would have gone to Mahomes.
Quarterback
Quarterback
league.
wins. But for a player in one quarter to get over 200 yards receiving and 2 touchdowns will maybe never be duplicated after that.
So I think Mahomes probably wins it if Kansas City wins.
That's if Kansas City wins.
But I'm going to take the odds, which is going to be lower on Kelce because I'd rather get paid out higher.
I like those.
And I'll bet
odds.
on Kelce.
I bet on Kelce. If Kansas City wins, of course, if Tampa Bay wins, I got Brady.
Why is that fair? Why if Tampa wins, it goes to Brady, but if Kansas wins, it goes to Kelsey?
I don't know, but I like
Is
the
it
way
gonna
he
go
said
to
it.
a defensive player?
Well, Kelsey's
For the
plus
whole offense.
900. So if you like it, put $25 on it.
Okay.
Really?
Yep. 900 to 1. Bet 100, win 900.
So hold on. If I put 20 on it,
Mahomes is minus 150. Brady's plus 150.
okay, hold on, wait.
That tells you where Vegas thinks and who's going to win.
If I put 25 on Kelce,
Yep.
how much will I win if he wins?
You'll win $275.
Really?
Whatever 9 to 1 is. Sounds
I'll put
about
that.
right.
I'll
Yeah.
put that. I like that. Okay. I'm learning something new.
Well,
You got
some-
for MVP, Tristan?
Man, well, if the Chiefs win, I like the thinking of Kelsey based on just the upward trend he's had in
been
receptions,
so
yards,
good.
touchdowns. You know, Josh is right. Somebody's got to deliver him the football.
225 is what you win.
But
Wow.
Kelsey has just been on this tear for the last, 6 to 8 weeks of actual football playing weeks. So if the Chiefs win, I believe Kelsey wins the MVP. If the Bucs win, I'm going to go wild card. I'm going to go like throwing some money at it. Give me Mike Evans. Super Bowl MVP. He's been a monster, a red zone beast. He gets lots of looks, lots of catches, lots of touchdowns. He's had some monster games. He helped me lose a fantasy football championship game late in the season. Give me Mike Evans to just ball the F out. He's played big in big games his entire career. Look at college. He made Johnny Manziel who he was. Yeah. So
Well,
that's it.
It's a great one to pick because he is plus 2,600.
I like that one, though.
That's the odds on it. And it is a popular one. I've seen it. You bet $25. I highly encourage people, put some money on it, put $10 on it, whatever it might be. 25 would pay $650. It's a hell of a deal.
You should just walk in the Super Bowl just with 500. Just gamble
Spread it
500.
out.
I
Spread it out.
I already have $200 on squares that I've already paid. I'll probably have $1,000 on this game when it's all said and done.
Some of the best weekends in Vegas, regardless, are just going for the Super Bowl itself. It's a lot of fun. All the sports books are just hopping.
It's just a great event. They made it such a spectacle.
It is such a great event. It should honestly be like the weekend should be
holiday.
celebrated.
It should be a
The
holiday.
Monday should be a day off
taking
unless
off.
they move it to
I told my doctor I got doctor's appointment on Monday at 9. So I can sleep in.
Yeah.
I make a promise to you three. Here in a couple years, when the Super Bowl is in Las Vegas, I'm going.
All right.
I think we all go.
I don't think there's going to be a crazier weekend in Vegas than the weekend they get to
when the
host
Roomba
the
gets it.
Super Bowl and the Roomba version 3.5.
I'm there for that.